You see, Dick, all the PPP maniacs out there, all the PPP fans, every member of the PPP mafia, all my people, they've come to me and they've begged me and they've demanded, the people have demanded that I cut a shoot on you, Dick, that I cut through all the works and all the kayfabes and all the joking around and the gossipy pro wrestling nature of this scene with all the hot goss or whatever, and we just cut to the real shoot, the real issue that I have with you, Dick. And so, Dick, this isn't the People's Populist Press speaking to Dick Masterson. This is Ashton Park speaking to Dax Herrera when I give you this message, because Dax, I'm trying to help you, buddy. I'm trying to save your dying career, Dax. It's getting embarrassing, Dax. It's getting very, very sad. Even longtime listeners of The Dick Show know that you've gone downhill, that you're over the hill, that you're on the decline, that you're nowhere near as sharp as you used to be, as quick as you used to be, as funny as you used to be, as entertaining as you used to be, able to roll with the punches like you used to be. You're nowhere near as hungry as you used to be. You don't have the same vision, the same drive as you used to. Your dick is no longer working, Dax. It's tough. I know it's tough to be you sometimes, Dax. But the reality of it is you're melting down. You're spiraling. You're losing your mind. Why? Why, Dax? I come on to a program with you and Nick Rekieta. And I come on intending to stir the pot, intending to cause controversy, because of course controversy creates cash, right there, you know. I come on intending to screw you up, to troll you, to own you, to make fun of you, to run circles around you. Even I didn't realize how easy it would be, how feeble you've become as an entertainer, as just in anything, a podcaster, a commentator, just as a human being able to respond back and forth. You're supposed to be a professional stand-up comedian. But what happened is you become so soft, Dick, by your position of e-celebrity, where you're able to put yourself in this hug box of all the dickheads who ride your penis, you know, and you never face criticism anymore. Nobody's telling you, like, oh, that set wasn't good, that sucked. You're not getting beer bottles thrown at your head in clubs anymore. You're not having guys try and fight you, try and punch you out, crazy hecklers. You're in control, and it's a sterile, sanitized environment where you become dull, and you become weak, and you become feeble, and you became complacent in your position as this big-time celebrity on the internet that was untouchable. So when you hear some spurg, some fat spurg is going to come onto the program, this fat spurg dipshit, you think you can just clown on him because you're complacent. You haven't been challenged in years now. And so what are you doing? You just think we're just going to bring this guy on, we're going to clown him. But you should have been a little bit more aware. Why are people in chat demanding this guy come on? You should have been thinking, there might be a little bit of something here. This guy might not just be a total, complete retard. Despite the fact that we've seen his videos. I mean, you know what I mean? You just totally underestimated it. You didn't take it seriously because you're a complacent man and you've lost your edge as an entertainer. Dax, you've lost your edge as a comedian. And it was sad to see as a drunken, fat Canadian heckler dismantled you over the course of over an hour. As you got progressively more angry and you progressively projected your own insecurities onto me, and as you progressively spiraled into like delusions of grandeur about becoming the homecoming king, it was clear for all and sundry to see that you were destroyed and that this had mentally devastated you to the point where you needed to stay on this stream with Rekieta for 6 hours coping, bringing in Shannon, bringing in Gator to clean it up for you, Dax. That's how hard of a cope it was. And ever since, you've been spiraling on Twitter, out of control. But Dax, it didn't have to go this far. See, what ended up happening is because of your complacency, because of your belief in your own celebrity and your own greatness, and that you could never be fooled, you could never be trolled. You're like the untrickable man, Jim. Because you had this worldview, Dax, you became Dr. Phil. You are literally Dr. Phil now. It's true. I don't know what to say. You became so out of touch, so complacent, so secure in your position, so secure in the belief that you're a god and a deity, that you had allowed yourself to become the Dr. Phil, the out of touch idiot that's not in on the joke. When you went on to Dr. Phil's program and made a fool of him and made a fool of the Dr. Phil house and of the producers and everybody on that show, you exposed Phil, but then you became him. You know, you either die the hero or you live long enough to become Dr. Phil. This is the great moral lesson that we've learned, is that if you just isolate yourself in hug boxes away from criticism and you create some autistic internet mafia of the Kiwi Farms and of Zoom and of Ethan Ralph to try and protect you from criticism, eventually when you end up having to face somebody who's not cooperating with your bullshit wrestling aspect of entertainment where people laugh at jokes that aren't funny, there's fake laughter. And the audience at home, do you think that they're entertained by this? They might be fooled like the old audiences back in the day were fooled by laugh tracks, Dax. But when you watch a show with a laugh track, do you think it's really funny? No. You are just as fake and as gay now as like sitcoms on network television, as sanitized and censored and held back and lame as that. So, we can say some swear words, some naughty words, but not all the naughty words, guys, even though this is some libertarian free speech zone. You know, Dax? It just gets shameful, Dax. But you've been spiraling out of control to the point where now, you know, you had Janny Josh, stop, we'll cut the kayfabe. You had Joshua Moon. Dax, lock your thread. But it only made it worse. When you directed him, you said, Josh, your $2,000 a month, it's being held up until you take care of this problem. And Josh tried his best to clean it up. He said you lived in a mansion when, let's get real, dude, you don't live in a mansion and neither do I. You're not some god. When you're screaming about your Barbie dream mansion, when you know you don't live in a Barbie dream mansion. It's sad, Dax. It's sad. You don't live in a Barbie dream mansion. I'm sorry to say. But when Joshua Moon locked that thread, tried to clean it up for you, it provoked a backlash amongst his own user base, as he probably told you it would. But you didn't care. It had to be cleaned up. And now he's locked even the Simpspiracy. He created a cover-up thread that's now been locked that you ordered him to lock. You know, but now people are coming to your thread and you can't handle the criticism of people on Kiwi Farms. You're calling them Karen Farms. Dude, you're Dr. Phil. You're so out of touch. It's like you're 20 years behind the times. It's crazy. What happened? You're supposed to be a professional comedian. You're supposed to be able to roll with hecklers, roll with punches. Make fun of yourself and then defeat the heckler, make fun of him, crush him, move on with your set, move on with your life. Instead, you're dragging it on with the Kiwi Farm stuff. Dax, it's okay. It's going to be okay, Dax. Look, why don't you... Here's the thing. Dax has lost sight in his celebrity of the little things, you know, of just having... Because he has fans that are so passionate, that love him, that would die for him, that... You know, they're trying to fuck with me for him. Like, they're warriors for Dax. And they really love him. And he doesn't appreciate that. He doesn't wake up in the morning and think how blessed he is to be making as much money as he is. He doesn't think about how blessed he is to have those fans. He doesn't think about how blessed he is to have a hot girlfriend, you know, giving him blowjobs or whatever. He's not grateful for any of it. Instead, what possesses his mind is that people on the internet are making fun of him. Think about it, guys. If you out there had a fraction of what he had, would you not feel blessed and happy? Would you not be, just not even thinking about a Kiwi Farms threat? Would you even be on the internet? Or would you be on like California beaches, like scoping out hotties, smoking weed, drinking like, screwdrivers at 10 a.m.? You know what I mean? What would you do? Would you spend your time on Kiwi Farms? The poor guy, and you hate to interrupt the enemy when he's making a mistake, but you're not really my enemy, Dax, other than the fact that you're just everything that's wrong with the entertainment industry in general right now. You're just a stale, out of touch Gen X idiot who doesn't keep himself sharp, hugbox isolates himself from criticism, is propped up by by stacks of money, and you try and run some sort of fucking weird, like Hollywood-style mafia cabal of these other people to run defense for you that's backfired. And you're losing your mind about it online. And it's tough for you, Dax, I know, but just try and appreciate all the blessings that God has given you in your life. Even though you disobey God, even though you're so unrepentant and so thoroughly wicked, you have been granted great material blessings on this earth. But they're blinding you from true happiness, true self-satisfaction. And it's got to be tough to be a Dax. And Dax, as I said, this didn't have to happen. All you had to do, because what you started to do, right, in your seethe and in your cope before the Kiwi Farms thing, after you had insulted me and tried to say I was a fat loser and a virgin and I didn't have money, I didn't live in the dream house mansion, I wasn't homecoming king, after all the cope and seething failed, you started to realize there's money in this guy. This guy is talented, he is charismatic, he is entertaining, he is young, he is hungry, he does have a vision for how he wants to make things happen. This guy is the perfect foil to me. This is what you're thinking. I can make money. So you offer me the best debate in the universe, the greatest debate in the universe podcast or whatever. I don't even know the real name of it because I've never even seen a single episode. That's how important you are to me, Dax. Before a couple weeks ago, I didn't really think about you at all. You think that I'm this sort of like Jesse or Cameron Clark or Jamie Lee, like I don't know the Dick universe. I've never even really seen Maddox. I don't really even know what a Maddox is. But I watched a few clips of it, of the greatest podcast or debate in the universe or whatever it is, Dax. And I saw how it could work. I saw how our two personalities would clash. We have two very different views on the world and on the universe, and our problems and our debates. They would be funny and they'd be entertaining, and they might even be informative for the audience. And I could see how you were the wild man to Maddox's straight man on the program. And I think that you two are very limited to those roles. And why I would bring so much value to your show is I'm not limited to a wild man role or a straight man role. I play a very good wild man, but very naturally my anima, my true nature is of a very straight-laced, serious, evangelical Christian type guy. And that's who I've been most of my life until my college years. And I went a little bit, crazy with some drugs and some women and some booze. And, there's that aspect of me, that wild man, but I also play a straight man character. So I'm able to do both the Maddox and the Dick roles on the show. And so we could alternate roles. It would be a very changing dynamic. It wouldn't just be a static dynamic like what Maddox was able to provide. We could actually create a program that would be highly, highly entertaining. And it would be something like First Take or, these debate shows where it's kind of a work, but it's also a shoot, and the audience can't determine what's a work and what's a shoot, and it would have been highly successful. And you know what, Dax, when I was on the program with you, I dropped kayfabe, I dropped the work, I dropped the character for a minute, and I said to you, if we sat down and we had a beer, we'd get along. Because I still genuinely believe that, Dax, because I'm not a crazy dude. I'm a normal dude. And I think that you were at one time probably just a normal dude, but you've lost your mind somewhere. You have these inflated fantasies and delusions of grandeur and greatness that aren't really there anymore, and you've lost your edge, you've lost your quickness. But I said to you, like, man to man, I think we'd have a good time drinking beer together. And if you had wanted me to do the best debate in the universe, you should have said, hey, kid, I love the character you're doing. This reminds me of when I was on Dr. Phil, or this reminds me of this character or this comedian I'd seen, and I think that you'd be a great fit to do this debate show with me. And then you would have put me on the spot, and then I would have had to say, well, Dick, that's a good idea. And then you would have caught me. Then you would have had me, oh, well, you're willing to sell out. Da-da-da-da. But you didn't. You fucking, no, I'd fucking kill you. You're a piece of shit. You didn't see that the time was there to drop character and talk business. And that's, again, why you're a shitty businessman as well. Because you don't recognize opportunities when they're literally punching you in the face. When your show is kind of dry and kind of stale because you have Sean the Yes Man, the audio tech. Bless his heart, I'm sure he's a great audio technician, but there's nowhere near the same dynamic between him and you as there is between you and Maddox, let alone what me and you's dynamic would have been on a consistent weekly basis. But Dax worked himself into a shoot and missed out potentially on making lots of money. Because, sure, in the short term, interest in the Dick Show went up because of my performance on the Ricada show with him, because his audience went, oh wow, this is exciting. I need to tune in to see what's going to happen on the Dick Show. So his Patreon went up. It didn't go down. You know, and then he takes it as this like righteous attack on him and his brand. What an idiot. So that initial interest, that surge in business, because they use it to say I failed, it's a clear sign that I was successful in my character and in my designs. It was very clear, you know, that Dick could have figured it out. But he's an idiot, and he kept attacking and kept spiraling. And what he started to prove was, and the reason I do have an issue with Dax, I have an issue with you personally, is that there's something here that he doesn't want you to look into. There's something here he's insecure about, that he's upset about. And whether it's that New Project 2 is a scam and it's a mafia organization, as I posited, and there seems to be enough evidence that that's going on to at least make people suspicious, or whether it's just as simple as that Dax is insecure about his relationships and his personal life because what he's selling to young men, he doesn't actually live himself, and he's a total fraud and a charlatan. You know, whether it's just as simple as that, which is really sad. Personally, I hope that it is, that you're this grandiose mob boss that's trying to silence people, because at least that's kind of cool, you know. I'm the Don Herrera. Don Herrera gonna smoke a cigar and run the mafia of New Project 2 and my cabal. But it might really just be that you're insecure about your personal relationships with women and with your family and with yourself and with your God that you reject. And if that's the case, I can only feel pity for you, Dick. Or should I say Dax? You know, it's just a tough place for you to be. And the reason I keep wanting to call you Dick instead of Dax is because I want to grant you the respect that you should have earned by performing the Masterson character at a high level for a number of years. But the reality is you've lost all that by showing who Dax Herrera is, which is an insecure man who is just so upset by people on the internet making fun of him, who's seething about a 400-pound retarded Canadian heckler throwing